tip your ass over.
Yes. It's extra toppings.
I forgot how classic that shit was right there. Yeah, it's probably. Okay, talk.
Good.
Hello.
You good?
We're live?
You live?
All right. Okay, you can take it off.
It's extra toppings on location. Hey everybody, it's extra toppings. It's on location. Happens to be at the Home Sports Bar and Grill in Nutley. Y'all got time to come on down and be a part of the show. I am your host, Miss Erica Monique Williams. And to my right is my right-hand man.
I'm shocked.
To my right is my right-hand man.
What's good, y'all? How you doing? We are in Nutley, New Jersey. If you're not doing anything, please come down. We'll be here till about 9:30. We're at 350 Passaic Ave in Nutley, New Jersey. Also, we have a wonderful after party. The Huddle Sports Bar is celebrating its 5th year anniversary. So they have a couple of DJs coming through. So we're definitely going to have a great and wonderful, fabulous time. So make sure you come on through. And our guest from a long time before that I got in trouble for. I didn't think she would ever come back, but Tiff, thanks for coming back.
Thank you for having me.
Oh, wonderful. What have you been up to recently?
Oh my goodness, I've been writing and recording and filming. I wrote my first film, and also I'm part of a business, a family business called Starks Enterprise LLC. So we've been really busy with that. We do have a show coming up the end of September. We're looking for all acts. You can check us out, starksenterprisellc.com.
All right, so tell us about the movie and everything. How did that come about as far as you, from the music standpoint, crossing over to actually, because you actually did some directing also and starring. So how does that come in the fold as far as an artist, then a director, a writer, script? How does that happen?
Wait, hold up. I wasn't in the movie?
No, but
What?
I don't think nobody got shot. If somebody got shot in that one, she would have called you.
Oh.
Nobody got shot in that one. So if somebody was getting shot, she would have called you.
That's what's up.
God, it's not the hardest hell. So how did that transition? How did that come about?
well, I'm a firm believer of do whatever you feel in your heart. And so I just move how, I feel. And from little, I've always wanted to sing. I've always wanted to act. And I've always wanted to write music. But I felt propelled to do more. I felt like God was maybe like pushing me or I felt like a nudging. So I said, let me sit down and try to write a script. Let me see how this goes. And I sat down and I literally wrote the whole screenplay in like 15 minutes. And it just flowed. And I'm like, wow. And so I read it to a buddy of mine. And she's like, wow, Tim, I have goosebumps right now. I'm like, are you serious? And it was actually faith-based, Christian-based. And so I'm like, let me write another one. So I wrote another one that flowed like that. So I said, you know what? This might be a thing. I said, if Tyler Perry could do it,
Right.
why can't I do it?
So is it easy because you're used to writing songs and then coming to characters? Okay, this character's gonna say that. This character's gonna say that. How do you go about where you have to, I guess, morph or take on that individual's character?
No, I don't think me being a songwriter helped me at all. I just feel like maybe from me being an actor, maybe from me just watching film and knowing, what sounds good, what doesn't, what feels good and what doesn't, and just pretty much starting with an idea and just letting it just evolve and just grow.
What's the name of it?
The movie that is out is called Speak.
It's out already?
Yes. Well, it'll be showing at the Aphrodite Film Festival soon.
Okay.
What is that?
That's going to be in about 3 weeks.
What is that?
Yes,
Yeah,
actually,
she's
it's going to come down.
Is that his movie?
Yeah, she wrote and directed.
Yes, I
Yeah, she
wrote,
wrote and
directed.
directed.
I also have, Thank
Well, she's
you.
super talented. She's also a talented singer.
I also have my message in the movie too, so yeah.
I was saying.
So how does that happen though? Like when you wrote it, you directed it, and then you had the score. Like how do you pay yourself?
Well, I don't want to take that credit. I don't want to take that credit. I didn't direct it. I just
Oh,
wrote
okay.
it and I starred in it.
Okay.
And I have my music in it.
All right. So how do you pay yourself when you put your own music in the film? Do you like negotiate with yourself to switch spots? I want this amount, you know what I mean? And well, I don't know, because we gotta see what this budget is looking like. So how does that negotiation start?
Well, because of my music, I don't have to worry about paying anybody.
Okay.
So yeah, so I
You
just
cut
said,
yourself? Oh my
yeah, because
God.
I'm not signed. So
Right.
I have to promote myself, as much as I can.
Right.
So you gotta do what you have to do. You have to be your own biggest cheerleader out there.
Right. So where's your music? So everyone knows.
So I have a song on iTunes and SoundCloud, but I do have an EP that will be released hopefully by my birthday, October 3rd. That would be a nice birthday gift.
Absolutely. How many tracks are we looking at?
So it's gonna be about 6.
Okay.
Is that an EP? That's an EP, right?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So I'm thinking by October 3rd.
Nice.
Okay.
Do you have like a favorite track or?
Ooh, I have one.
What is it?
It's called "Got Me Running."
Okay.
And that happens to be in my movie, Real Sale, by the way. Hey.
Yeah, it's called "Got Me Running," and I
Hold
wrote it.
on. Your movie was. Where's my cut?
Her song,
Where's my cut?
and actually you said we can use it, thank you very much.
Hold on. That's what it was for?
Oh, well, yeah.
Oh no. Hold on. Let me check
You gotta stop.
I gotta check my bank account. I ain't seen nothing go up. Oh, I didn't know that was for her. Shout out to Antidote. Yeah, that was.
That was a dope song.
You know what's crazy? Actually watching them to record that song.
Which one?
Both
Got
actually.
Me Running.
I had a blast.
Cause like it wasn't like it was pre-written. It was done. Them two pretty much got together at that time and hammered everything out, and it just went in and it was like it was written for like about 10 to 20 years.
What can I say what the scene was about?
What the scene was
Okay,
about.
so a female continued to keep falling for an ex, right? After years later, she just kept wanting to believe that he was going to be different and change. We all do that. Yes, we do.
I was about to fuck with it and say that's her, but you know what I mean, y'all ain't jumped in. That's my joke.
Listen, I'm like, we all have experience with that.
Right.
But, she finally, she gave her one more chance and realized, what happens though, it seems like it gets worse and worse every time. So this last time, she found out that he was married and his wife allowed her to come to the house to prove that he was still with her. And when she walked in the room, he was sleeping in the bed. And she was like, really? And at first she was gonna do something to them. And she was gonna do something to them, but she realized it wasn't worth messing up her life. And that's one thing, we call women emotional, we are, but we love just as hard as our emotions are. So that's why, at the end of the day, you can't front on a good woman. You know what I mean? You can't front on her. She's always there for you. You might play her, but you end up playing yourself. So, hey, you gotta see audience, they can chime in. Thank you.
It's too many women in here.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yes.
But, she realized that it was not worth it. And I watch for my man just about every week. TV One is not giving me any advertising for this, but I do like the show. And women, we have to know that we can always move on. You can't ruin your life, kill somebody, kill a man, ruin you're not even gonna raise your kids, you're in jail, like it's not worth it. So really, you can learn how to take your love back and redistribute it to where it deserves to be. If that's with you, it should start with you at the end of the day.
The one time I found my husband was when I gave up on men.
See? They say, don't look. When you're not looking, that's gotta find you.
I would say I can't. We got like about 10 women in here, only 2 guys. So I'm gonna be quiet on this one. But it's a great thing. It's a great thing, huh?
There's a few guys.
They're in the kitchen. They can't come out here. Me and Jeff.
They scared. They
Hold on, me and Jeff. Y'all got heels on. Them shit's hurt.
Why y'all hiding in the kitchen? They scared to come out.
No, I'm saying y'all got heels on. I mean, so you know, them shit's hurt. They ain't trying to get stumped out.
Hey, we leave our heels on sometimes.
Ain't nothing wrong with
And we
that.
only have heels on.
My poor virgin is. Alright. Welcome again for new people tuning in. Welcome to Extra Topics, where we talk about you know, everything that's going on in the media right now, everything that's going on in celebrity news, regular news, and we just put our little twist and you know, our flavor on it. So thank you for tuning in. Again, we are at 350 Passaic Ave in Nutley, New Jersey, at the Huddle Sports Bar. We will be here for a couple more hours. We got a couple more shows going, so feel free to come on through and help us. Shout out to Bree for this drink, because this is fierce, girl. Oh my
Kira,
gosh.
please do us a favor. Can you just go on Facebook and tell everybody to come to the channel? We're live right now.
Yeah, definitely. All right, so we got a couple of two topics for you today. So we want to talk about the Jay-Z situation, where Jay-Z has become, well, he will be becoming a part owner in one of the NFL teams. We're not sure right now what team he will be becoming a part owner of, but it's dealing with a lot of different backlash. You have some people that are, I would say,
sellout.
well, yeah, some people call him a sellout. You have very few that are happy with the situation. So before I put my 2 cents in, what do you ladies think about it?
Ladies first, yeah.
Absolutely.
Tiffany, you're our guest. You can go.
Right.
Well, it was my understanding that he is in charge of the entertainment for the NFL. Is that right?
Right.
So I don't, on the strength of that, I don't really feel like that's a bad thing to have a black man in charge of something like that. And I think it can also open up doors for more people of color to have more jobs in that area. So in that regard, I think it's okay.
No, I agree with you, because I remember when Bob Johnson, I'm old as hell, I'm sorry. I remember Bob Johnson when he sold BET. And the only reason he sold BET is because he wanted to, he got together with a couple other individuals, and he wanted to be owner of an NFL team. I forgot which NFL team it was that was on the block at that time. And him and his team obviously lost out, but he thought he would good because he had been the very first minority black NFL owner. And a lot of people gave him a little flack for it and all that. So I'm happy for him for, yes, where you have someone black being a part of the NFL, which is $1 billion business, but it's run by all, you know, older white individuals. What do you got, E?
Okay, so we have the 2 arguments. Is that one, he's a sellout. They said he prostituted himself and laid down with the devil. You know what I'm saying? And on the other hand, people are saying, why can't we, if we are trying to make change, why can't we benefit financially from it? Like we boycotted, we march, we do everything to take a stand, but we cannot really make that much change if our economic situation is as despair as it is. So, you know, in order for money can control a lot of things. And I don't believe that Jay-Z just was in it for himself. It was a good move, it was a power move for him, but we already know that he has stood up for social injustice and social issues for a long time. I mean, he produced the Khalid Browder story about the prison, reform system, to try to start the process. And this is him being in a place where he can make some moves and decisions to make things better. I don't think that it's unfortunate that, again, we don't want to see anybody. I mean, he does have a lot. I just wish he could lend me a little bit, you know what I'm saying?
The billionaire that he is.
Yeah, I mean, we could say he don't need no more money. Like, can we have some of that money? But we're not in the position, and for all of us are trying to make power moves ourselves, or should be, right? And I just feel like if we do make those moves, it's our responsibility to give back to our community, because nobody else is gonna do it.
Well,
I agree.
are the tickets to these games so expensive, real people can't afford them?
All right, that's good. We had a question in the audience about the prices of the tickets being expensive. It is a business, unfortunately, and a lot of times there are people, they're not. I think the greatest NFL owner is Mr. Blank in Atlanta. He has the most inexpensive tickets, stadium-wise, and on top of that, he has the most inexpensive food. His hot dogs are $1.50. Where as far as other stadiums, other stadiums, the hot dogs start at like $7, $8, $9, $10.
Whoa!
Yeah. So Mr. Blank is, I would say, by far the best NFL owner, where he does make it affordable for the people in his community to be able to actually afford to go out and have a good time. But unfortunately, I think a lot of times we have the difference between profit and greed, where you have this billionaire who can do a $1.50 hot dog, great quality, not cheap hot dog, and still be successful, and you have others that still want to do it at $10, $15 an hour. I mean, per hot dog. Yeah.
Okay, so the confusion comes in for me is where Kate stands on this Kaepernick. Because we know that he took Kaepernick. He took his own payoff, right? Settlement, sorry.
Payoff. She said it right. Payoff.
But he took his own settlement, and I didn't see anything wrong with that either.
He got backlash for that too, though.
Yeah, of course, he did. But my question is he supporting Jay-Z in this move?
Well, this just broke yesterday. I would say he may not. Unfortunately, when you have people that jump a hold of a movement, they make it theirs.
Right.
And it's like, well, I'm Colin Kaepernick, I'm part of him. And then when he settled out of court for an alleged $10 million, everybody was like, oh, he'll settle.
Right.
And what I think,
no, that's the problem. We don't want anybody to benefit financially.
Well, see, that's the thing. As I said, it was a business move on his behalf, because he was an NFL quarterback and he's losing money.
Right.
So he sued.
And he should have.
And he got paid.
Because he should not have had the problem for kneeling for injustice in the first place. So of course he deserved to get some.
What's wrong with taking $10 million?
Well, it's alleged $10 million, so we say that. But I mean, no matter how much it was, even $1 million.
When he kneeled the first day, he didn't say, I'm kneeling now so that in a year I'm going to get $10 million. He didn't kneel for that reason.
Right.
He knelt because he felt strongly about the fact of being able to be the voice for the unknown who continues to get killed out here by the police and whatever else happened. So it was an honest cause. It wasn't like he knew he would get money at the end of it. He went through a lot behind it. He didn't really, I don't even know if he got death threats or not, but I don't know.
He did. I love his story because you have a black man that was raised by white parents.
Right.
Educated, well-educated, great business mind. So even though he did get, I think he got like 1 or 2 NFL contracts, he was able to, make that money to sustain itself. But yeah, when you're shut out of actually making a business because he's only still 20-something years old, and usually quarterbacks play till they're like in their 35, 36 years old, and Tom Brady's 42 years old now. So, but from his standpoint, it was his business move, and he simply did a non-violent protest by taking a simple knee. He didn't say anything against anybody, and you have a lot of people that took offense to it. But what I always tell people is, you really need to hear the 3rd verse of the national anthem and still tell me if you still believe in it when it tells you about the guy being proud to be a slave owner.
And that's how it really unveils the racism in this country, because if it was the other way around, You know, people that have white privilege, they're insensitive because it has never happened to them. They are so far from it. But the fact is, when it's in your face, and you now, with 2019, with the internet, the fact that you can see, one second, the fact that you can see, one second,
Gotcha.
the fact that you can see video of a person running through a park, running from a cop who shoots him 5 times in the back, you can't deny that. Like, how can you view these things and actually still say that you have a problem with it? That just shows how you feel. That's
Well,
what
I
it
mean,
does.
I always say this. I think racism doesn't exist. I think it's the difference between ignorance and because I would say there's only one color that matters, and that's green. No matter what the color your skin is, if you got money to buy something, someone's gonna give it to you. And I always say, like, a lot of locations you go to, like, say for instance, these hair companies that are majority owned by Asian people. Now they won't take money out of your hand. So when they hand you back your money, they always put it on the counter and they slide it to you.
Yes, true. They don't want to touch it.
They don't want to put the money in your hand, but
Or
yet
they'll
still,
drop the change
right,
in your hand.
right. But we still run and give them the money. So what I'm saying is, it's not, like I said, it's not racism. It's kind of like, I don't say placism, but it's just the individual and the culture and
It's
the way that it
socioeconomic.
is.
It's
Right,
socioeconomic,
right.
yeah.
Like, you know, that hair is a $1 trillion business. So you have those who have a great connection to the India, because that's where a lot of the hair comes from, where it's being purchased, and they, you know, buy it for pennies on a dollar, and then I think the most expensive weave is like 50 grand right now, if not more than that. Yeah, so you can imagine how big the business is, but we continue to go to a business that won't put money in our hands.
Right, well, that's true. We have to watch that.
Right.
We have to watch that. Yeah, I would tell my kids all the time that there's a store in Englewood right now that I used to go to and get my egg, turkey, sausage, egg, and cheese sandwiches, and I would buy for my whole house. So I'm going in there like, can I have 7 turkey, bacon, egg, and cheese sandwiches? And I came there and they would let me post my flyers about my movie. But when my movie was done and I went and asked him to buy a DVD for me for $10, and he said no, I said, you know, I can't never come back in your store again. And my kids ride by, Jordans ride by, mommy, we used to go in there. Yep, and I spent a whole bunch of money in Jordans buying out candy. I used to go in there every morning, and we're not going in there again.
Well, I mean, that's the thing. If I support you,
You can't buy
I
one
want you to
$10
support
DVD
me.
from me and I spent all this money in this store and you won't see me again.
Well, I mean, that's the way it is.
I don't understand what white privilege is.
Oh, let's explain to this lady what white privilege
All right,
is.
well, you have certain individuals who been, you know what? I wouldn't say white privilege. I just may think you have a lot of individuals that support their own culture.
I'll say white privilege since he can't say it. Let me explain it to you. It's something when people, and that doesn't mean all white people have experienced white privilege. Not all white people, but white privilege is when there are white people who have not experienced any kind of
Racial discrimination.
anything where they've never been treated a different way than what they are used to, which is always being advantage. So when you say you never experienced it, I believe
I've
you.
experienced it.
Okay.
I've experienced
But I do believe some white people have not experienced it, and that is more so for what Truth is saying because of the economic status. There's such a thing called white trash, and we know it's derogatory. People call people that are white who don't have money. You've heard that statement.
Right.
So there are some people that don't get the same privilege, and it has nothing to do with this. Absolutely. Absolutely
But
not.
you don't understand. When I work for the United States Post Office, and the United States government has over 100,000 reverse discrimination complaints.
Right.
Now, my thing is, I was on a flat sorting machine, and a group of blacks were screaming. When white people say the word color, it's the same thing as the N-word to us. And then they used my name and got rid of me from the machine.
Right.
And I got no support from anybody, including the big union.
Right.
But
collecting their union dues and they ain't gonna do anything for it.
No, but when I think of that adventure, I can't think of white privilege.
No, every
Situation is different. That's why I was saying
You
a
understand?
different term is just, I think it's always a financial thing to me. You have
Not
some
always.
people who
Sometimes
are,
it's
because I mean, look at Carlson. Carlson is black. He doesn't claim it.
But
You got Lil Wayne. He's black. He doesn't claim black.
There's a whole spectrum of it. That's why we can't, it's never one case in anything. There's not, just like you can say, all white people are not racist.
Absolutely not.
They are.
So it
And
can't,
all
but there
blacks-
are facets
And all
of
blacks
these
aren't
groups
perfect.
that run and control the things that other
That's
people
one thing I learned from the post office.
You know what I'm saying?
Blacks aren't perfect.
Absolutely not. Okay, so thank you for sharing this. Yeah, I mean, everybody has had their own experiences, and some people can't relate to the experiences that other people have gone through.
Well, unfortunately, I think what a lot of people fail to realize, it's a business move from Jay-Z's standpoint. It's him. What I say a lot of time is, what people have to understand is, okay, if I give you $1 million right now, you have to know how to maintain that $1 million, and that's the problem. This man this year has entered $1 billion. He wants to continue to maintain that $1 billion, and the best way to do that is to continue to conduct business. Now, I remember when he first approached Kanye West, and he was like, put a couple of dollars into Tidal. It was new. He was like, I'm not allowing any other platforms to play my music. I want other artists to do the same thing. And some, kind of went along, but a lot of them didn't go along. And right now, Tidal's worth $600 million. So it's all about, what if Kanye West did put a couple of dollars on top of that and believed in Jay-Z, who has been a phenomenal business owner. I'm going to back someone. I'm not going to back Trump because his deals continues to fail. But if I back Jay-Z, who has shown consistent growth, I would have benefited when he benefited.
Okay, so this is one thing that I think would have made me feel better, because I'm on both sides of the fence for this. In a way, yes, he should have got money. I mean, not in a way. I think he should have got money. On the other side, maybe if there was some concrete change in, something that could have stated the NFL will no longer do such thing, or something like that in the deal, then it would have seemed like it's more concrete.
What you got, Jay? What you got, Jay?
All right, hold on. Jay-Z plays the long game. Y'all fools out here playing checkers. He's sitting here 7 moves ahead. It was in his best interest to jump on Kaepernick's kneel. Yeah, it's a good cause. He supports stuff like that. His wife supports stuff like that behind the scenes. But nobody likes it when that, we'll call him a billionaire, because he is. He got money and other interests and stuff and all. Nobody likes a billionaire that's spending money on things that are social politics. I don't care where you're from. They don't like when the Asians support the Asians. They don't like it when the blacks support the blacks. They don't like it when the whites support the non-rich whites. You get what I'm saying? Things like that. It's the long game, so he jumped on it. Okay, Kaepernick settled. Guess what? That was a free moment. He can attack. He had already had 4 other meetings with Goodell that they said in the newspapers. Oh, nobody thought nothing of it. Oh, they just out here eating shrimp, teaching the black guy how to swim. Oh, look at that.
That's expensive shrimp.
We all didn't pay no attention. Oh, Kaepernick ain't got a job. Kaepernick has had opportunities to get a job. And 2, here comes the age-old story of us lesser human beings at this point. Why you want to work for a place that don't want you?
Right.
Especially when you are a high-paid slave. They own you. I'll trade you. I'll run you. If you get hurt, I get rid of you.
Yeah,
if that boy can run
great.
jump tackle you on the bench, and next year you ain't gonna get no contract. And all of them have seen this. We've seen this in Victor Cruz, that boy out there doing TV. He's sitting on TV right now.
Well, at least
Right from Madison.
Yeah.
He owns a bunch of sneaker stores. He done invested
He's
money to buy.
actually on, I think he's on ESPN now too. So
He sure is.
Right.
In a suit. sitting there saying, hey, I'm not going to get brain damage, I'm not going to get this. Ain't no need for me to go out there and try to see somebody.
You know what? Because we don't understand that you start somewhere, but you don't have to stay there. You are supposed to want to elevate. Like, why do people not understand when somebody only knows how to do one thing? There's so many things that you can do.
Every corporation in America has this. Johnson & Johnson is in plastics. Johnson & Johnson is in radiology and space stuff. Nobody knows this.
Right.
We think it was the baby powder.
Hell yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. We got baby powder in space. We need this on Mars? No. So it's in his best interest to do this. Will it be beneficial for every person? And I don't even like to say every person of color. Yes, for the NFL, it will be beneficial down the line. Are you worried about one man who has had opportunities now? Never mind to go touch the field. Okay, they don't want you on the field because he could have summed it up. Jay-Z could have been like on the back end, well, he's the new CEO of our charity part, and he gets to pick the person that goes out on the other. You get what I'm saying? And upset everybody. But then again, we don't know the fine definitions of Kaepernick's part. He has been quiet. His girlfriend has been yelling all on Twitter. Well, probably won't be his girlfriend for long. He's like, you fucking up my chick. Am I wrong? He's like, yo, yeah. I'm so
What was that other chick? She had to pay her own Uber ride and
Yeah,
shit?
exactly. Hey, the code to get out is 7 more.
Yeah.
Don't hit you. You have to look at this stuff when it comes up into it. Kaepernick, why would you settle? You automatically let yourself know. You get what I'm saying? That's like taking a demotion at your job.
Come on in. How y'all doing today?
We're still drinking. Don't worry about that. That's it. Kaepernick settled. It's real simple.
Well, it's a
He
business
found-
thing. He couldn't make money from being a quarterback.
with no team or him being better than the other half crappy
Right.
players.
That's right.
You get what I'm saying? He said, "I'll give you my whatever." money."
Right.
Bye,
I think he had something to prove, but from his standpoint, it was really it was a business move.
Right.
And, you know, he wasn't making money from actually playing in the NFL, so he wanted to make money from the NFL, and he did. And like I said, it was him and Eric Berry were the two that were involved in the lawsuit settlement. There'll be a lot of speculations put out as far as how much it actually was. Me, I think $10 million is way low. I think they made way more than that
I think he should.
from it, because you're talking about $1 billion business as far as the NFL. The NFL has the greatest business contracts in sports, because in NBA, your contract is your contract, so it's always guaranteed. Same thing in baseball. In the NFL, I can sign you for $100 million, but I can cut you after 2 years and then you don't get anything of it. So it's in NFL, it's all about guaranteed money. So I may say, all right, I'm gonna sign you for 5 years, $300 million. That don't mean you're gonna get $300 million, because I can cut you after the first year and then it's done.
That's why you hear everybody argue about the guaranteed contract.
Yeah,
Is it
the NFL
guaranteed 80%? I ain't touching the field if it ain't guaranteed. And then you see my homie breakdancing on the fucking floor with backflips. So I'm like, yo, man, what's your Achilles is broken? Like, well, if it ain't guaranteed, bro, I can't do it.
Well, then on top of that is also, as far as the NFL is concerned, there's the franchise tag, where they can pretty much hold you for 2 years on a tag that which will prevent you from actually signing with another organization that wants to pay you the money you're actually looking for. So to bring it home before we go into the last subject, I think from a Jay-Z standpoint, it is a great business move for him. Unfortunately, when we're talking about business, we always want to include ourselves, especially when it becomes media driven. We want to include ourselves, like we with Kaepernick. I opened the door for him, man, we party, we do all that, then when they get a settlement, we're not included in it. I think a lot of times when we take on someone else's, drive or whatever, we try to be a part of it. So from a business standpoint, it is a genius move from Jay-Z. NFL ain't going nowhere no time soon, ever. It is a violent sport. It is the greatest sport because it's short. It's only 16 seasons, 16 weeks. Where as far as the NBA is 82 games. Hockey is 50-some games. So all the other sports,
Baseball, 100 and some odd.
162 games for baseball. Like I pay attention for the first 10 days, and then afterwards, when it's come time to
Yeah,
playoffs.
you see at the playoffs.
Yes, get the playoffs. So from the NFL standpoint, it's short, it's popular, it's exciting. The commercials alone start at $1 million for the Super Bowl. Start. So that lets you know how popular this business is. So from a business standpoint, I think again it's a genius move. I always tell people you can't be a millionaire and not know how to maintain that $1 million status. This is a man who this year made a billionaire status. He has to make sure that he continues to maintain that billionaire status. So from that standpoint, I think it was a phenomenal business move. What do you ladies think?
I agree.
You agree? That's the first time she agreed with me. I'm about to pass the fuck out. I don't know, Bree really hooked this drink up. I'm nice as hell.
Cheers.
Cheers. Tiff, what do you think from that?
And I agree.
I agree. So I appreciate it. So from the standpoint, from a business move, I think it's a great move. From his standpoint, I understand there are a lot of guys that feel that he sold out. He did this, he did that, but he's still cashing fucking checks. So whatever he needs to do to maintain his family, which is his wife and his 3 kids now,
Yeah.
that's what he's going to continue to do, and he's not worried about those other individuals who are upset or angry.
When you get to a certain point, you don't even gotta worry about nobody else and what they think about what you're doing.
When you get that money stash, hell no, I don't care what nobody told me.
No, I'm just gonna act funny.
All right, so our last topic today, it's to me it's kind of a fun one. So we had out, unfortunately, you can't go nowhere now. I think the paparazzi now is at a standpoint which is ridiculous, where they're catching Kamal Anthony on a yacht in the middle of the sea, no laying around, with his side piece, with the high definition camera on the binoculars. So they're catching Kris Jenner, the mother, out with her younger Corey boyfriend, who she's 63 and he's 38. So what I want to ask everybody, from a standpoint, as far as the age, is it an issue? Is it a problem?
No.
Is she going through something? Because I always say, when we talk about the Kardashians, we're talking about witches. I say these young ladies is witches.
She's going through being able to be with whatever man she wants to be with. That's what she's going through. She ain't going through nothing.
So you don't believe? Hold on. Goddess, go ahead, Goddess.
All right.
Go ahead.
Okay, I got something to say on this topic.
Go ahead.
My mother is 73.
Right.
Her boyfriend is 43.
Nice.
The reason why I can't stand it is because she treats that man of hers better than she treats her own kid.
So does he have to take it easy on her because her hip, or is it like he's just plowed out?
Listen, they've been together for years. My mother's been with him
Right.
for at least 10, 12 years. She did a bid for him and everything when he went to prison for insurance fraud. But she did a bid with him and shit.
And we can't edit it out because it's live.
But
Yeah.
so my thing is, like, she's paying his car note and stuff. But let me call her and be like, yo, mom, can I get an extra $200?
What's my man's name?
Huh?
He laid some serious pipe. Oh,
His name is Brian. He's from Passaic.
He
My
may
man
not-
Brian
he
is
may
laying
not
some
have to.
73-year-old
He
like-
may not have to. Is your mother like a young 73?
Yes, she is.
Okay, so if you look at,
my man is tagging that ass.
what's
Huh?
her name? If you look at what's the actress that played Tina Turner? Angela
Yeah,
Bassett.
she does look
Your
good for
mother
her
is
age.
73.
She's like 67 years old right now.
That's the thing that people don't understand. There's some 23-year-olds out here
Old
looking
as
like
hell.
they're 73.
Well, that's the
It's
thing.
about how well you take care of yourself.
Because her man is 38, he's looking like he's 60. I'm sorry. My man look old as shit. Yes,
I'm
sorry.
just saying, she treats him better.
I actually think that age is just, for us, is just a number as females.
Right.
I think as we grow older, I think we start loving ourselves more. I'm not sure why, but I've seen like 20-year-olds are still trying to define who they are, or to love themselves. It takes them more than 20 years. So technically, when you hit your 40s, you're like at your 20s. Like if I look at myself, I don't want to bring anybody else, 38, I was divorced with 2 kids in the house, and I felt like I was an 18-year-old going out of college, like going to like a dorm, but I have kids. And it was okay. Like I'm 45 now, so I'm about to turn 45.
Oh, yeah.
Look at
And
25.
I still love myself. I guess I'm learning to love myself even more now because I appreciate the time that I spend at work, like discussing how awful work is, and then when I have a day like today and can look back and say like, hey, you know what? I can do this. Like anybody else. These girls, some girls take about 3 hours to shower and put on makeup to leave. 3 hours. I have a girl that lives in my house. 3 hours to go to work. To go out is 5 hours. What are you doing to yourself? How much cake are you putting on? Because I barely use any. I mean, today I have some. But yeah, no, I think go Miss Jenner. And plus, you know, I feel like she's endured enough men, female in her life. It's her time to now feel what a real man can do to a real woman. Right. Period.
Well, that's the thing, because I was going to bring that up, so I'm happy you did. I always say the Kardashian are witches. Any man they've ever dealt with, first of all, they're all blacks. There's nothing wrong with that. But after they meet them, they become crackheads and alcoholics. And I was going to bring him up, like, as a female, ladies, you got to help me out with this. As a female, if you're dating someone, and after you date him, he decides to have a sex change, how would that feel? How would you feel as a female?
I would shoot myself.
I definitely don't feel a type of way, but I do feel like she knew certain things early on.
Right.
And she has always had a business mind. So in her head, she's like, I'm going to leave a Kardashian man who's a lawyer.
Right.
I have to have a come up. I have children. What are we going to do here?
That is true, because he's I think what, 5, 6, 7 gold medalist.
Yeah.
So he's always been getting that good change for a long period of time, and they have 2 kids together on top of the 3 she already had. But it just, to me, was like, it's just kind of crazy. So E, if you're dating a guy, and the moment you break up, he decides to cut his dick off. Like, what, from a standpoint, would that fuck with you, like, as a female?
Hell no. You know why? Because at the end of the day, when we realize we got a bitch nigga next to us, we start treating him like a bitch. He turns into a bitch because he was already a bitch. It's not that we made him one. Because at the end of the day, we always talk about how, especially black women, I'm tired of, people saying black women are so angry and we talk down to our men and we don't know how to treat our men. A man is supposed to shine. His female, she's a diamond, and he's supposed to keep shining. A lot of men will drain you. They will try to take your beauty from you because for one, they're either jealous of your beauty, they can't handle your beauty, they don't know what to do with your beauty. So if we find ourselves in a place where we are disrespecting our man, which is not good. No, now let me make that point. It's not good to be with a man that you can't respect. But if he's not a respectable man, he should not deserve or expect respect. So you should sever ties. But no, I think he's already like that. And a strong woman will just rush the process. That's it.
Well, you know why guys leave? Because women stop doing rusty trombones. That's just why.
No, that's not the case. The case is, we know that you did a rusty trombone with somebody else before you got home. We don't care if we don't care at the end of the day. If we know you already out there spreading your fertilizer everywhere else, then you can keep that. Then we don't want to stop doing it. See, that's the thing. Y'all want to please another woman. woman and then don't want to please us anymore, but we still supposed to want to please you. No, we gotta please each other. Ain't no reason why I would want to stop doing that on my man, except for the fact that I know that I don't even want nothing, no parts in him. You see, after we may stay for a long time, but we won't feel the same way about you. So we're not gonna do the same thing for you. We're gonna do it for the man that we want. Is that right? If we want a man, we love a man, are we gonna keep
I
treating
just-
him
That
this
is
way?
bad.
I just had to show Tiff the photo of a rusty trombone.
No,
So that's why her face.
If you're still happy with your man, ladies, aren't you still gonna wanna do the same thing for him?
Absolutely.
Why would you stop? There's no reason for that.
Well-
We just as horny as y'all are, and y'all don't try to keep giving us the good loving.
And I have
You know what I'm
something to say.
saying?
What you got, Tiff?
From watching season after season of the Kardashians, I do remember her having an issue with him and his lack of being able to get it up or have sex drive or whatever. So that probably propelled her to bringing it back to the
Right.
topic. So maybe we'll have a younger man. You know, she realized, hey, I've worked hard. You know, my kids are kind of okay. Let me enjoy my life. I want to have a nice sex life. How about that?
I don't
Well,
think there's
let me-
anything wrong with that. I think all her kids are now grown.
Yeah.
Right.
So I think she has the right to do what
No,
the hell
it's a wonderful
she
thing.
thinks she can do.
Right.
And if she's rocking his boat, let her rock it.
Well, here's the thing from my standpoint, what I'm saying is like, here's the issue I had with it. You had a man who had a sex change, which, hey, that's on you. You want to, well, technically he never cut it off.
That's
but
not her fault.
no, I'm not saying it's her fault, but he had implants, lip implants. He had all this stuff to become a woman, and he's still dating women.
Yeah, but this
So,
year,
from
how
a
she
stand-
felt about it.
Well, no, I'm saying it's gotta be like that's what I'm saying from a female standpoint. It's not like he had this the implants and everything to start dating men. He did all this and he's still dating women.
Yeah.
So as a female, does that really fuck with your savvy?
I'm sure it does.
Yeah,
But
probably.
yeah, I'm sure
I mean,
it
I don't
does.
know.
But hello, I don't think I'd rather have a black man any day than have what she had.
That was good. Oh my
I'm just
gosh.
saying, you know? I'm just saying.
Yeah, I mean, I think that at the end of the day, some people will just look at it as she's a rich woman and she can buy whatever dick she wants. Because if it was the other way around, rich men out here buying young pussy, and that's what they want. They want a young woman.
You gotta pay for pussy no matter what you do. Men pay for pussy. It's nothing we do. Whether we, it's just from a standpoint, whether we drive to come get you, we take you out to dinner,
Oh,
we
y'all
buy
drive
you
and
a
go
piece
get
of
your
bubble
man
gum,
with these
no matter what we do,
These
make or,
romances are worse.
am I right, my man?
You
Am I
gotta
right?
go keep your man up.
Am I right?
No. Y'all don't mind what y'all do for your friends.
Where that mic at? Guys, give my man the mic. Give my man the mic over there. Where the other mic at? And cause I got the fellas out here. My man BR just walked in. Beats is in the building. Shout out. From a man perspective, you understand from a man perspective, as a man, you know you have to pay for pussy, right?
Absolutely.
And when I try, thank you. So
But you're gonna get it back. It's worth it.
you don't get that money
You
back.
get it back in faith.
There we
You
go.
get it back. You get
Hold
it back
on,
in
hold on.
food. You got to get it
Hold on,
back.
we got some man conversation.
I'm gonna shoot it from my perspective. This is the way it goes. You gotta have a man, as a man, we figure a woman wants a $6,000 ring, then a $50,000 car, then a $500,000 house, and all a man gotta look for is some prepaid pussy.
I love this man already. I love this
A
man.
good mother to your children. A good mother to your children. A woman that's got your back. And whenever you need a woman. So just get the right one that's.
But no, he's not arguing. In fact, he's co-signing what I'm saying. Gotta get you in there. He's co-signing from what I'm saying. We got a young lady here saying from a standpoint.
don't need a woman.
From a standpoint, shout out to BR in the building.
All you get back. You said all you get back. You get way more than just sex.
Hold on, Craig. Hey, this.
I got my own $50,000 car.
Well, she rich as hell. Like you would see.
I fucking bust my ass.
No. She. You see her here, you see that young lady there, and you would think whatever you want, but that young lady's rich as hell. That young lady travels every other week to a different state, to a different part of the country for her job. That young lady's rich as hell. But what I'm saying from a business standpoint, when men is involved, from a man perspective, you cannot be in a relationship and not put up money. And what I say is, unfortunately, a lot of men, the problems they get into is when we meet a woman, we try to lay on the spray. We want to take them out to dinner. We want to do this, we want to do that. And I always tell men all the time, if you spend $100 per week on this woman, try spending 90 and see what the fuck happened.
Oh, stop.
No, Bree? Give Bree the mic. Bree said no. Look at Bree. Because Bree wouldn't share her food when I walked in. What you saying, Bree? You saying no to that?
Why would she share her
You gonna talk or no? Give Bree the mic. Give her the mic. You gonna talk? What do you say from a man perspective? From a man perspective, as far as a gentleman who's trying to meet you, he's pouring it on, he's spending money. If he's spending $100 on you per week and then he switches up and spends less, would you have a problem with that? So why she's one of them 1%?
No, I wouldn't have a problem with that. If you treat me good, I'm treating you better. That's it. It's simple. It's not that hard. And you know that.
Right, he does rusty trombones too, so everybody. What you got, Bree?
So I have my own apartment, my own car, my own bills, my own education, and a man to me is just an accessory.
Right. So I love the fact that she's dating a younger man. Because a lot of times, no matter as far as the age, you want someone that makes you feel alive.
Yes.
You want someone that makes you feel special.
Yes.
When you get up in the morning, you can't wait to see how that person's doing, how that person's feeling. So I'm happy for her. I just wanted to know how everyone felt as far as the age difference from her being 63 and him being 38. Does anyone have a problem with that, age difference?
I don't have a problem with it. As far as her, I feel like if that's what she wants to do, that's fine.
Right.
However, I do feel that when younger men go with older women, it's an ulterior motive. So that would be my
But
opinion.
this gentleman, he has ties to Justin Bieber.
Yeah.
So he does have his own money coming
But
in.
not like hers.
No.
Well, I mean, here's the thing. I don't think she's to me, Kim is the one who's running everything. I don't think it's Chris. I think Kim is the one that's truly running everything.
You got it wrong. Chris runs Kim Kardashian, Kylie, Caitlyn.
She's managing, but I think what's the name? She runs them all?
Not Kim. Kim is now moving Kanye.
Right.
She got nothing.
I don't think Kanye is moving Kanye, but I'm saying.
No, Kanye moving by himself. He got depressed.
Right. No, I feel what you're saying, but I love the fact that, because again, I said as far as age-wise, I don't feel any type of way about it as far as her being 63 and being 38. It's all about the actual happiness and the love that it's creating. But coming from a guy who's an aggressive guy himself, could you really break her back being 63? You gotta be so gentle as hell when you're making love to her, right?
That woman has been living good for so long. Her body is different. They got money.
Could you pound a 63-year-old out though?
Right now, they're on a yacht for Kylie's 22nd birthday.
Thank you, homie. Thank you.
Italy.
Right.
And they're living the life. She's not
Right.
a normal.
No, I'm not arguing that.
She's not a
But I'm
normal
saying
63-year-old.
from the physical standpoint, could you pound the 63-year-old out?
She doesn't look 63.
I mean, I'm not saying she's looking, but her body, your body doesn't heal like it was before, whatever.
She's good. She lives good. Her body is different.
I don't know, because you said, most vegetarians and vegans are fat as shit. They talking all that healthy shit. These niggas is huge. I'm sorry. What is it, Kelly Clarkson? She's big as all of us put together.
No, they're probably big before they become come.
Now, she was skinny as hell when she did the whole idol thing, and she was popping. And all of a sudden, she
That's being
became.
happy too. When you're
She
happy, you
was
gain
still
weight.
big then.
When you're happy, you gain weight too.
That's me.
Okay, I feel you. So, from a standpoint, as far as, so we're happy, and we have absolutely no issues, no problems with a 63-year-old dating a 38-year-old. And then on top of that, from
It's
her.
okay when a man does it.
Well, I don't have an issue. I'm just asking y'all, especially the fact because this is, if I'm not mistaken, publicly, this is the first black man she's ever been with.
So what? She's
So are we doing it?
She's doing it right.
That's all right, man. You know how we. Know how we do. But from a standpoint, as far as, you know what I mean, standing applause every time. It's aggressive as hell. But from a standpoint, we don't have any issues. I'm happy for her. The fact that you have someone who went through that hell, because to me, I'm seriously, like, all jokes aside, from a mental standpoint, that has to really test you.
But look
Where
at
the person you
Ashton
date
Kutcher.
has a fucking sex change.
If you already knew again, then you're not gonna be surprised. I mean, you're gonna be surprised if he
Right.
changes his whole. But I mean, a lot of women haven't gone, I don't think a lot of women have gone through that, but we definitely have gone through questioning like, why you acting like a chick? You know what I'm saying?
I know you know your man. Same like how you know your kids.
Right.
So I'm sure she's seen signs.
So
And then
it-
even his stepkids said they saw him with a bra on and stuff. You know, they can.
What's the Q stand for?
Where?
And isn't his woman? Isn't she a trans?
I never know.
I have no idea.
I'm not sure. But I thought she was born in the other year.
I don't know. That's got to be fucked up. Like, all right, she's a trans. I mean, no disrespect that. If she's transgender and he's having, because technically he didn't have it cut off, he still has it.
He's a lesbian.
Like, he's a lesbian. Like, so he's a lesbian
That's what
and she's a transgender. Like, how does that work?
He's gay.
No, he's a lesbian.
He's
Well,
not a
no, like,
lesbian.
he's still dating women. He can't be gay.
No, but he's not a lesbian.
But if he has a penis, he's a man.
If he has a penis and he's penetrating the vagina, he's a
He's a
heterosexual.
straight man.
He's a transvest.
He's a dude with
That's
titties.
it.
Yeah.
He's a guy that likes women, but likes to have female body parts. He's infatuated with women's body
So
parts.
does he get his
But
ass
he's
pounded?
not, so he's
Does he
not
get his ass
attracted to
pounded?
men?
No, he don't like men.
He
He
dates
likes women. He likes
Yeah, he
to
takes the
have,
women, right.
he likes to have women's, like, he's into like women's body. He feels
Right.
like more comfortable with boobs. He likes to feel himself.
he considers
listen,
himself
if I
a
was
So,
a
all
girl,
right, I gotta
I would
ask a
tell
question.
He considers
If
himself
you're a guy with tits and your girl is riding you, who grabs your tits?
Both. She might like that shit. I don't know.
Oh, that's crazy. All right, we're gonna get out of here. We got the next show, What's the Definition of Love, coming up next. I just had to ask that. Chip, thanks again for stopping by. Please let us know again where everyone can find you on all your social media outlets, and let us know again about the movie and all your music.
First of all, thank you so much for having me.
Always.
But
Yes,
my name on Instagram is Rough Diamond, ROUGHDMOND, Rough Diamond. The name of my company business is Starks Enterprise ENT on Instagram. I have a movie coming out, Speak. Please look out for it. I hope to get it on Netflix.
It's gonna be done. We don't hope. It's
Yes,
gonna
God's willing, yes.
be. There we go.
And I really enjoyed myself. Thank you so much.
I appreciate you stopping by again. This time I didn't get you in trouble. Last time
I was
that shit
saying
bad.
too much the last time.
Well,
Yeah,
you told
that
me, I wanna
shit's
check
crazy.
it out. She was in the hot seat.
I was scared to come outside for a couple of days.
So,
Really bad.
so she told everything.
Yeah, I thought he was gonna put a hit out on me.
Check that out on
I didn't
YouTube.
know.
Onion Chicks and Flicks is still on, but we are now Extra Topics.
Extra Topics, right. So-
We'll be there next week.
Yeah, we'll be back next week on Fridays, a little more normal. We just wanted to do a little something on location. Again, we're at the 350 Passaic Ave in Nutley, New Jersey. We're at the Huddle. Remember, come through tonight. They are celebrating their 5-year anniversary. So if you are there, make sure you come on out. Next up, we have What's the Definition of Love? Any last words before? Oh, Kara's going next?
Yeah. it's going to be me and her.
You and her?
Yeah.
All right, well, shit, that's the first time I actually said K.
I know, you see how mad I
That's the first
got,
time
right?
that shit was good.
He's gone.
I said we're gonna have a combined thing.
Yeah.
We're gonna put something together next
I'm gonna put
week.
on some questions.
We're gonna put on. So we got another show coming up. Again, I want to thank you for tuning in. Thank you for being a part of it. Shout out to D7 is in the building. Shout out to Big. Shout out to Phil's in the building. Thanks for showing love. This is the first time I'm doing it. First of many. Last words before we get out of here.
This was fun. You guys should come out.
Definitely, man. This is the least she's ever spoken ever. Like, I think I'm about to pass out drinks or something. I don't know. But shout out to everybody. We're going to take a few seconds break. We're going to be right back.
Look at her.